On what should have been an ordinary morning in rural Oyo State, dozens of children woke up excited for another day at school. They put on their uniforms, picked up their books and food flasks, and prepared for class. Some laughed with friends as they walked along dusty village roads. Others held their younger siblings by the hand. Parents watched them leave with smiles, believing they would return home later that afternoon with stories about lessons and playground games. No one imagined that within a few hours, their peaceful communities would become the scene of one of the most terrifying school attacks in southwestern Nigeria. Deep inside Orire local government area, communities like Ahoro Esinele and Yawota live quiet lives. Most families depended on farming and small businesses to survive. Life was not easy, but parents believed education could give their children opportunities they never had. The local schools were more than buildings. They were symbols of hope. Teachers worked with limited resources but remained committed to helping the next generation build a better future. Every morning, classrooms filled with the sounds of children reading, laughing, and dreaming about what they might become one day. But on that fateful day, those dreams would be interrupted by violence. As lessons were beginning, reports say heavily armed men suddenly entered the communities. Some rode motorcycles through the dusty roads. Others carried powerful weapons. Within moments, fear spread across the villages. People started running. Parents abandoned their daily work. Children became confused as the sound of panic replaced the normal sounds of a school morning. The attackers moved quickly. Their target was clear: schools. At Community High School in Ahoro Esinele and Yawota Baptist Nursery and Primary School, teachers realized something was terribly wrong. They tried to calm frightened students. Some attempted to hide the younger children. Others looked for ways to escape. But there was little time. The armed men stormed the schools, forcing their way into the compounds. Children screamed. Teachers desperately tried to protect them. The attackers ordered students and staff to leave the classrooms. Many of the younger children did not even understand what was happening. Some cried for their parents. Others held tightly onto their teachers, refusing to let go. The gunmen showed no mercy. They forced the victims to move quickly toward nearby forests. Anyone who hesitated was threatened. As the kidnappers disappeared into the bush, terrified families could only watch helplessly. Some parents tried to follow. Others shouted the names of their children. But fear and armed intimidation stopped them. When the attackers were gone, silence covered the schools. Books lay scattered across the ground. School bags had been abandoned. Sandals belonging to frightened children remained where they had fallen. Empty classrooms stood as painful reminders of the chaos that had just unfolded. As villagers began counting those who were missing, the scale of the tragedy became clear. Dozens of innocent children had disappeared. Several teachers who had tried to protect them were also gone. The communities were thrown into confusion and heartbreak. Mothers cried openly. Fathers searched desperately for information. Nobody knew where the kidnappers had taken the victims. Nobody knew if they were safe. Nobody knew if they would ever come home. For the families waiting in Ahoro Esinele and Yawota, time seemed to stand still. Every passing hour felt like an eternity. Every phone call created hope. Every rumor created fear. What had started as a normal school day had become a nightmare that would shock Oyo State and capture the attention of the entire nation. But for many families, the worst news was yet to come. If you enjoy the story and want more stories like this, subscribe to the channel at Africa Folktales, Movies and Storytelling.